Yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man VACAY-J, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for Snowfall episode 8 recap, and yeah, this was the wildest episode I've ever seen from Snowfall. Listen, if you're new and loving Snowfall, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, absolutely like and comment below. And yeah, I'm gonna break down episode 8, one of the wildest episodes I've ever seen for Snowfall. So let's break it all down. Definitely check out all the recaps and reviews as we get into it. So yes, the name of this episode is Celebration, and the description reads: the family gathers for Jerome and Louie's wedding and is promptly sent down the rabbit hole. Oh man, they definitely were. So we first start off with, your boy Oso, Teddy, and they are meeting up with Aunt Louie. Yeah, it's crazy, right? Aunt Louie is now talking to Teddy, and she's telling Teddy, hey, listen, you know, me and you, we did business in the past after Franklin got shot. You know, she wants to do business again. Of course, Oso is looking on, but we know what he's thinking, you know, and the first thing that comes out of Teddy's mouth is, well, does Franklin know about this? And of course, she's like, he doesn't. You know, I was considering going to the Colombians first, but I wanted to come to you because we've done business in the past. So Teddy's like, okay, you know, better the devil you know, right? Better to deal with somebody that you know than somebody that you don't know. So yeah, they're trying to make a deal, and it looks like Teddy is going to make that deal because, again, he feels like Franklin's getting sloppy, not really doing what he wants him to do. So yeah, it looks like they're going to cut out Franklin, and you already know Franklin is going to be pissed off about this one right here. But hey, it looks like they don't care. They're just like, listen, we're going to do business regardless, and going to make it happen. So now we see the Colombian national meeting up with Sissy in the park. And his question is, okay, do you have information on Franklin? And they are pressing to get more information on Franklin because they want to get to Teddy that way. And she continues to tell him, like, yo, I'm not giving up my son. So, you know, you guys can get to Teddy. It's not happening. So he's like, hey, listen, if that's the case, then we don't have nothing else to talk about pretty much. You know, so she's like, yeah, listen, it's going to be a wedding. It's going to be high profile people there. Just be there. So now we see Kane and his boy. They're at the spot. Guess who shows up to his spot? Yeah. Veronique shows up at Kane's spot talking about, Mr. Kane, you know, can we talk? And he's like, hey, just call me Kane. Just call me Kane. So she asked to sit down, asked him to put out his cigarette. He's like, yeah, I'm Franklin Say's girlfriend. I just want to know that I'm going to be safe and that everything's going to be cool. You know, I was at that restaurant that your boy shot up. And he's like, yeah, well, we already kissed and made up. You know, I guess he didn't tell you that. She's like, yeah, he did. He did. But she's there to make sure that he's not going to come at them again. And he's like, yeah, you don't got to worry about anything from me. You know, it's all good. You don't got to worry about anything from me. So, I mean, Veronique has the gall. I mean, she has the courage to really go and do something like that. Yeah, she definitely is on another level. So now we see Aunt Louie and Uncle Jerome. They're talking about the wedding, the arrangements, and everything else like that. They're happy, you know, because within a couple of weeks, this wedding is about to go down, right? So yeah, they're pretty happy about what's going on. And she lets them know that she spoke to Teddy. And he, of course, is like, really? Okay. And, you know, Uncle Jerome really has his doubts about this, you know, like he feels like, yeah, it's a good idea for her and that it's business, but, you know, he has his doubts, man. I mean, separating from Franklin and everything. And he lets her know, he's like, listen, I will not go to war against my own blood, Franklin and his family. And she's just reassuring him that it's not going to come down to that. It's going to be all good. It's not going to go that way. But he's like, listen, Franklin is going to be pissed off about all of this, but I got your back either way, you know, and he's just really concerned about all of that because he's gotten through a lot of things. But she's just like, listen, let's just have, you know, time with the family at the wedding. Let's just have a good time. We'll tell Franklin after the wedding and we'll talk about it then. So, you know, Jerome and Aunt Louie, they just want to get through this wedding. and then they'll keep it moving from there. So now here we go. We are finally at the wedding. Uncle Jerome, Aunt Louie tying the knot. And of course, everybody's there in their 1986 outfit at the wedding. Franklin, he's there too, as well. As the best man holding the rings. And yeah, Oso's there with his lady, right? So the whole family's there. They're looking good. Everybody's good. The preacher is definitely bringing them in and about to marry them and everything. And yeah, it looks like a beautiful celebration wedding of them tying the knot. I mean, it looks like they went all out for 1986. And they're asking Aunt Louie, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband and everything? And Jerome, he's excited. They're all excited. This was a long time coming. I mean, we're talking 5 seasons and they finally tying the knot. And yeah, for Jerome to propose, yeah, he definitely loves his lady. And we know that, Avi's there, Wanda's there, everybody is there. But also we got, those Cuban nationals definitely listening on to everything that's going on. So now we see your boy Scully Skull. Scully is there as well. And the guy, the preacher's talking about children. So, of course, he's thinking about, his baby girl that passed. And, yeah, everybody's looking good. Yeah, they tying this knot. They putting those rings on. And, yeah, it's about to go down, family. So your boy Scully sees this young lady at the chocolate fountain, right? They got a chocolate fountain. So he goes over to the lady and he's like, hey, what are you going to do with these strawberries, all these strawberries? She's like, yeah, well, we're going to dip it in chocolate and we're going to get to everybody that wants one. He's like, everybody? It's like, yeah. So she's just all smiling, all innocent. And Scully's like, hey, is it possible that you can get me a water, right? Scully is up to something. And yeah, we know exactly what it is. So he introduces himself and then he asks her to go get a water. And she's like, of course, I'll go do it, right? So yeah, Scully is about to do something crazy to this chocolate fountain. And that's where it all starts with this guy. So yes, they are tying the knot. The celebration is a beautiful celebration. Sissy and Veronique is there looking good. Everybody is happy, right? So yeah, I mean, you see even Franklin is smiling and everybody's just happy for these two, man. I mean, they've been through so much back and forth, and yeah, it's about that time. Of course, Wanda, she's smiling on. She's happy as well. Glad that she got clean. She got cleaned up. But she's like, do you take this man? And she's like, hell yeah. They all screaming. Franklin brings him the rings. I mean, it's a really, really nice ceremony going down with the family. And the family's all there to be there for Aunt Louie and Uncle Jerome. And yes, it is finally done. They kissed the bride, he kissed the bride, and now it's time to party, boy. They buy that chocolate fountain that Scully was around, and they start taking pictures, boy. Yeah, everybody's looking good. And everybody's looking sort of happy, You look at everybody, they're smiling. Everybody's looking good, right? I mean, it's a great celebration, The husband and the bride, they are bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and yes, it's going down, fam. A lot of celebration is happening, and yeah, there's a lot of camera work. You see the camera lady there, people taking pictures, right? But yeah, they taking pictures, Franklin, Oso, and his girl. But you see the black and white photos. Yeah, that's being taken by those Colombian nationals, just taking pictures of who's who at this high-profile wedding with Jerome and Aunt Louie. So yeah, they bring over some wine. It's time to toast. It's time to toast it up. And yeah, I mean, everybody is having a great time at this fine wedding. I mean, there was money put behind this, but look who we see serving wine. Yes, that national. He is there as well, undercover. And yeah, of course, Sissy sees this guy and she recognizes this Cuban national. And he's offering them wine as well. But of course, Veronique's like, yeah, we don't drink. And yeah, she's looking directly at him. And he's looking at her like, yeah, just let you know, I'm here. And Sissy is just like, what is he doing here? Like, why is he here? So yeah, they serving that chocolate up, boy. And your boy is being offered to Avi. And Avi's taking some chocolate. And everybody's taking chocolate, including your boy Franklin. And Franklin's like, yeah, I'll take a chocolate. They come over with wine, the Cuban national. He's like, nah, I don't drink. So she's like, listen, if you don't drink, you might as well take a whole plate of strawberries, chocolate-covered strawberries. So, I mean, it looks like your boy Franklin a little hungry, but he takes those chocolate strawberries and he's going to town on those chocolate strawberries. And yeah, Veronique is talking to Franklin and she's like, yeah, I'm going to go home. I'm a little tired. And he's like, you sure you don't want me to go home with you? And she's like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I mean, she's still keeping her distance away from Franklin. And he, of course, is not feeling that. Again, this is the choice that he made. Like, he still wants to be in the game, but she's like, yo, I got to protect myself and the baby. Like, seriously, So she gives him a kiss and it's all good. And she's about to leave, right? So yeah, your boy for real is going to town on these chocolate-covered strawberries. Like, what is going on with that, right? So he's looking around and he's looking kind of strange a little bit. And then all of a sudden, he feels kind of wheezy, right? He feels like, whoa, what's going on? Something is in the strawberries or in the chocolate. So he's like, whoa, what is happening? What is happening, right? So he's looking around, looking all weird, looking at stuff. And yeah, Wanda sees him and she's like, hey, you okay? You all right? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. You good? So they get to talking. It's like, yeah, this is a great celebration. And Franklin, he goes ahead and he's like, hey, listen, what I heard, you're doing a really great job. Keep up the great work and everything else like that, right? So then he starts to hug her. He's like, hug her out of nowhere, like, yeah, you're doing great. And hugs her up and, like hugs her hair and caresses her hair. I mean, this dude, Franklin, is feeling real good. So he walks away and Wanda's like, what the heck was that? Like, Franklin ain't never hug her like that. So also, he also has some of the chocolate too. So he's feeling it as well. Franklin comes over and Sissy's ready to eat. Franklin puts the fork and the knife in her hand. He's like, okay, eat. She's looking at him like, what the heck is going on? And then Franklin looks at the table and he's like, yeah, did you just see something? I just saw something crawl across the table. And she's like, no, I didn't see anything. He's like, yeah, something must be under the table. And then he starts looking under the table. Of course, Sissy is like, what is wrong with my boy? And Franklin is looking under the table. And now he's looking for whatever, like a squirrel. So Johnny and his girl comes over like, yo, you all right, man? You okay? And he's like, hey, what's going on? Yeah. And then he starts to introduce them to his mom. And he's like, yeah, your name again? He's like, yeah, Johnny. So yeah, you see who Johnny is. Johnny is Jannard from Power Book 4 Force, right? But that's the cousin of Aunt Louie out in Little Rock, Arkansas. And Sissy's like, yeah, you're looking good. You got a nice watch there, everything else like that. What are you guys doing here? Oh, we are good with Aunt Louie and Jerome. We in that distribution business, And he's out there, got the gold fronts. It's like, yeah, you looking good. You got that nice expensive suit. And he's like, yeah, Uncle Jerome took us shopping, and yeah, they ain't never see people like us up in there, So, he's joking around about how, yeah, they from the country and everything, from Arkansas, whatever. So Franklin's like, yeah, he's just acting totally out of character. And Sissy's looking at him like, what is going on with my boy? He's like, yeah, y'all doing it big out there in Arkansas. And he's talking all weird and smiling like crazy. I mean, it's obvious your boy is on some stuff. Even Einstein and this young lady right here, they're on some stuff. And they are feeling it. Yeah, there's something going on in that chocolate. What is going on? Everybody's feeling good. It's not just the wine. Yeah, everybody that has some of that chocolate is feeling good. So Franklin is looking, he's walking, and he's looking up. He's like, what is going on? he's like, I got to take a seat. So he sits down next to this tree, right? And he's holding his head. Something is going on. He is feeling something crazy going on. And yeah, here comes your boy Scully. Scully Skull. He's like, what's going on, Franklin? You good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. Everything good? He's like, yeah, everything is good now. You know, we having a good time. And yeah, me and Aunt Louie and Uncle Jerome, we all good now. And yeah, everything is good, man. And he's like, yeah, I'm having a good time. And I'm just here to show respect and everything else like that, right? So Scully's like, hey, listen, you know, definitely I got to run, but let Aunt Louie and Uncle Jerome know to enjoy their wedding gift, right? Now, remember, Scully was around that chocolate machine, right? That chocolate maker for the strawberry. So your boy is feeling something kind of crazy going on. He's looking up, and it looks like he can't even look at the light. He's running through the balloons. I mean, Franklin, there's something going on with your boy, man. He rolls up on Avi. And Avi's like, hey, what's going on? You know, it's obvious that they both had something. And they just laughing and smiling. It's obvious they are high as a kite. You know, hugging each other. I mean, it's something going on with these guys. I mean, whoever wrote this, man, it's definitely different from what we normally see. Like, this is like the craziest time where we see that these guys are tripping on whatever it is. So, yeah, your boy Franklin, he doesn't do any products, so you know his body is going through it right now. And he's rolling up on Leon, and Leon's like, yeah, bro, you feeling good? You're all right. They all feeling good because they all had the chocolate. And he's like, yo, did you read that book, man? You know, so we could take care of our people. We need to take care of our people. And Franklin is just like listening to him and listening to him. And turn around, Franklin is just like, yo, I gotta go take a piss. And Franklin runs off like a madman to go to the bathroom. I don't know what's going on here, but your boy is crazy. But everybody's feeling good. You see Aunt Louie, Uncle Jerome, and they see your boy Franklin, and he is just like looking like he doesn't know where he's going. And then he runs into the house, and they just start laughing because they all are feeling real giggly and high. So Franklin, he goes into the house to go to the bathroom, right? He is looking crazy, feeling crazy. He turns around, and he's looking real surprised, like, what is going on? He is really spazzing out because he turns around, and it looks like he's on a grand stage somewhere, right? So he goes into this house, and he's looking at a stage, like, and he's like, where the heck am I at? Like, the spotlight is on him. He turns around, and he snaps himself out of it. Like, Franklin is going through some crazy stuff. So he's looking in the mirror, and he's like, what is going on? He's trying to figure it out. And then he looks at his face, and his face starts melting. So he's like, oh my God, right? So he puts water on his face, and then he hears a voice like, yo, that's bad. And who is it? It's your boy Rob. Yeah, Rob, just like I predicted. Oh man, Rob shows up. And like I said, this is him tripping off of whatever was in that chocolate. And yeah, he's talking to Rob like, yeah, how did you get here? He's like, yo, man, you just took me out. He's like, well, you was talking too much. He's like, yeah, so you take out your best friend? You know, like, we were good friends, and you gonna take me out just because you thought I was talking a lot? He's like, yo, you're just selfish, man. It's always been about you. You can't control me, so you had to take me out. You had to kill me because you can't control me. And he's like, no, that's not true. That's not true. You know, I'm not like that. And yeah, Rob just starts to go in on him and saying how selfish he is. And if nobody does what he says, then yeah, Franklin's gonna take him out. Which is true. It's true. It's all true. And it looks like this is, again, his guilty conscience coming back to him now, right? Through whatever was in that chocolate, he's thinking about everything that he has done, and now it's coming back to haunt him. So Rob, he pulls out a strap. He's like, yeah, you thought that hurt, but this is going to hurt even more, right? It's like, you thought taking me out hurt. This is going to hurt even more. And he's like, Rob, don't do it. Don't do it. And Rob, bam, shoots the strap. And Franklin is now on the floor in the bathroom, right? So now we see Sissy, and she is smiling like crazy because she has some of the chocolate. She's walking through all smiles. He sees Jerome. He's like, hey, sis, right? Gives him a big hug. And she's like, did you do this? Did you arrange all of this? And he's like, what? He's like, yeah, did you put LSD in the chocolate? And he's like, what? Put what? Like, he don't know what's going on. He has no idea because he didn't do it. And she's like, yeah, did you pull it in there? He's like, what? How did you know? How do you know that it's LSD in this stuff? And she's like, yeah, he told me. He's like, she was tripping. Right, so she kind of figured it out, and now Jerome is like, oh, well, that's why I feel the way I feel. He thought he was just happy. He's looking at his hand and everything, and now Sissy's like, oh, shoot, what about Franklin? So now she's thinking about Franklin. Is Franklin okay? So she runs off. Yo, boy, oh, so boy, he is gone. Man, they playing music. He starts dancing or whatever, doing the cha-cha, whatever he's doing. And then he falls on the ground and starts twisted and flipping on the ground. Your boy is tripping. Again, the craziest episode I've ever seen from Snowfall. Your boy is laid out, right? Big Leon sitting down because they all feeling it. They all had something. Einstein is asking, he's like, yo, man, is it like that? Like, why am I feeling this way? Is it the wine? And Einstein is looking up at the sky, and Big Leon's like, man, it ain't the wine, man. I don't know, but it feels good. That's all I know. I mean, they are flying high, laughing and chuckling. They cannot stop laughing. I'm even laughing with them right now, right? So Sissy goes to find Franklin and finds him on the floor in the bathroom. She's like, are you okay? Are you okay? She wakes him up. He's like, yeah. He wakes up and he's feeling on his chest like he got shot, but he didn't. It was all in his mind. She's like, are you okay? Are you all right? He's like, what's going on? What's going on? He's like, yeah, there's something in that chocolate. Something is wrong. There's LSD, He's like, oh, man, I'm tripping. She's like, don't worry. It's going to be okay. I'm going to protect you. It's going to be all right. So now Sissy is going through it as well. And she's like, yeah, it's going to be okay. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to really take care of you. Don't worry. I'm going to be right here for you. And then she goes in and says, I would never do anything to hurt you. So Franklin's like, I love you, mama. I love you, mama. And then he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong is that you put the white man over your father, and you do everything, and you're selfish. You do everything for yourself. And he's like, I don't want to hear this, mom. I don't want to hear this. It's like, yeah, we didn't teach you how to do that. But your father didn't teach you that. I didn't teach you that. He's like, I don't want to hear it. You got to go. You got to go. And then he's like, he yells at her and says, I don't want to hear any more tongue, right? And yells at her and looks at her with a mean face. And she's just like, what? They both high. So now they arguing, and she's just like, what? I'm trying to protect you and you yelling at me, right? Oh, man. So they both tripping out. She runs off. And now we see the Cuban national, right? He's out there again, observing, peeping out everything. He's serving wine, and Avi comes over. Boy, man, Avi, he's tripping as well. He's like, oh, you thinking, what is this rich white man, wise white man doing here? He says, well, I'm the advisor to the groom's nephew. Oh, man, Avi, just shut your trap, man. Don't say nothing else. So Sissy comes over and pushes the Cuban nationals like, you did this. Listen, I made a mistake. Leave my family alone. Leave my family out of it. I don't want my family to be involved in anything. And then the guy's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, come on, Poppy, help me out. And Avi leaves. And she's like, listen, I made a mistake. Seriously, like, just leave my family alone. Leave my family out of this. Leave them alone. And she just keeps talking. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then she just pushes him off, and then he runs off. Leon comes over, and he's like, hey, are you okay? You all right? And she's like, yeah. He's like, listen, you look like you're tripping. How about you lay in my car, lay in the back seat, go to sleep, take a nap. And she's like, I love you. He's like, I love you too. They all tripping out. So now we see Franklin on the floor, and he's just sitting there, just looking into space. Somebody knocks at the door. He pulls out his imaginary strap. He's like, who is it? Whoever it is, I got a strap, and I will get you. Whoever's trying to come and get me, I'm going to get you, right? He thinks it's Rob. So he hears Veronique's voice, and she's like, yeah, it's me. I just came back to see you and everything. He's like, no, you went home. It's like, this is not real, right? And she's like, yeah, I came back. And, the energy, we can't fight the energy. He's like, listen, I don't want to hear about nothing bad right now. And she's like, what? Nothing bad? Like you almost getting me and the baby shot up at the restaurant? He's like, no, this is not real. This is real. She's like, this is real. This is all your thoughts in your mind. This is all your own thoughts in your mind. This is as real as it gets. Your guilty conscience is talking to you right now. And he's like, no, this can't be. And she's basically talking to him and saying, hey, listen, you can't take care of us and everything. And you putting our lives in danger. He's like, yo, I just want us to be a family. And she waits for a second. She's like, listen, you can't be a gangster and a family man at the same time. It's just not going to happen. And yeah, you're trying to take care of us. We have to destroy you before anything. In order for us to survive, we got to take you out, Franklin. In order for us to survive, you have to die. I mean, man, this is all Franklin's thoughts in his head. I mean, he is tripping out, but this is the reality that he has been suppressing in his mind for a very long time. Turns around and Veronique is gone. Yeah, that's his own thoughts getting to him, his own guilty conscience. Everything is coming to the surface now, and he can't fight it. Now we see Uncle Jerome and Aunt Louie. They're out there. They're tripping as well, but they on some like, you know what? I love you. And Aunt Louie goes on about how, she felt like she was nothing, but Uncle Jerome, he was there for her. He never made her feel like she was less than anything. And that's why he definitely is the man for her. And they're just, basically kind of like doing their own little high vows, right? They're doing their vows, but on a high level. But they're definitely showing their true selves as far as how much they love each other and how they're going to ride for each other forever, because they've been down with each other forever, right? So we see this moment right here, and, they're not just tripping, but this is how they really, really feel about each other. Then we see Leon. He's talking to Avi, right? And of course, Leon is on some like, yeah, Malcolm said it best. And, Avi's like, yeah, Brother Bass said some good things and everything, but you need to travel. You need to go to, overseas. You need to just go over there and see what they're talking about. Go to Vietnam, right? So now we see your boy Franklin. And Franklin is walking down this long hallway, the long hallway of his mind, right? It's all in his mind now. So he walks into this room, and it looks like one of the rooms in their old home. And he looks and he sees the old picture of the family, but he picks up this shank, right? It's probably his room. And he picks up this little shank or whatever. It looks like a screwdriver, but it looks like a shank more so. He's looking at it, and then he sees a phone, right? And he dials a number on the phone, and somehow, some way, we don't see him dial, but now we see him talking to Teddy. And Teddy's like, who is this? He's like, listen, I like you. And, because you helped me become rich and everything else like that. But I got to let you know, man. Yeah, I know you want to kill me. But before you try to kill me, I'm going to kill you. When it comes down to it, we've done this song and dance for a while. Then I know in order for you to move forward or whatever, you're going to try to get me. Before you get me, I'm going to get you first. And he is talking to Teddy. And we think that this is a real meeting, right? I mean, they look like they are sitting down with each other, face to face, talking to each other. And he's telling Teddy, nah, I'm going to take you out before you take me out. Come to find out, your boy Franklin actually he paged your boy Teddy, and Teddy called him back, and they had that conversation over the phone. So he goes back to the car, and he's talking to Parissa. She's like, everything's all right. Yeah, that was Franklin. And he said that he was gonna kill me. He's like, I thought you said he was at the wedding. It's like, he is. So she's like, well, at least we know he's not home. So what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? So he looks at her, smiles and everything. And yeah, she's just like, yo, we going to do something if he wants to kill you, you know? So now we see Johnny and your boy Big Dion. And Big Dion, they scrapping, they squabbling, right? They hitting each other back and forth. Wanda gets in between them like, yo, stop. Y'all got to stop, man. We tripping on stuff. And Johnny's like, yeah, this is great. This is a great party and everything. And they squabbling, right? So they kiss and hug and like, it's all good, brother. It's all good, right? So everybody is wilding out. And then Leon, he rolls over to Wanda. And he's like, hey, Wanda, listen, I want to ask you something. You know, I want to go away. I want to travel. I want to go to, you know, I want to go overseas. And I want you to come with me. And she's looking at him like, for real? Like, you going to come at me now with all of this? Right? Because you know, your boy Leon, he really feels Wanda. He really feels for Wanda, but, you know, he stays on top of his business. So now we are still in the house. We see Franklin. He is drinking water, just trying to sober up. And yeah, who do we see? We see Franklin, the other Franklin in his mind. And they are face to face talking. And he's basically saying the same thing that everybody else is saying. It's like, yeah, man, you know, basically you sacrificed everybody just to get to this point. And you really selfish. And he's telling himself everything that everybody else has been saying. And he's like, yeah, I'm not selfish. I help my people. He's like, you help your people? You help your people by killing them? You help your people by doing this and that? You help your people by, you ain't helping nobody, man. You helping yourself. You getting all the money. And yeah, nobody respects you on that level. And it is what it is. And he's just going in on himself. Listen, like the battle that you have in your own mind is the greatest battle that you're going to have. And Franklin is having that battle to face his own, you know, insecurities, to face everything. And yeah, Franklin has to come to terms with his own disability, right? His own thing. Like, seriously, he is not well. He's not well, and he hasn't been well for a while. So now we see Franklin come out, right? He comes out of the house. He's a little bit sober. He's drinking water. And Leon is like, hey, what's going on, man? You good? You good? You good? And he's like, yeah, I'm a little better, man. And now he's like, listen, man, you know, I just want to apologize to you. I know you wanted to get out of the game, and you were right to get out of the game. You just wanted to have a peaceful life. He's like, so I salute you, man. I salute you, and I understand. You know, remember last time when Leon wanted to get out, you know, Frank was like, nah, you're not getting out. He wanted to control him, right? And he's like, yo, man, I love you, bro. I love you. So now he's like, yeah, I love you. And Leon's like, I love you too, whatever. So, yeah, it's exactly what I predicted. Yes, Teddy went to Franklin's house, and he's taking pictures of all of Franklin's documents that he has, probably of his legitimate business, of anything that he has, his ID, his social, whatever it is, he's taking pictures. So he hears a sound from the walkie-talkie, and it's Parissa making noise, like she moaning or something. He's like, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm just practicing. Like, she is weird too. And he's like, yeah, I'm just practicing. He's like, listen, is anybody coming? Is Franklin coming? She's like, would I be on this walkie-talkie talking to you about practicing if he was coming? I would tell you, right? I mean, they have this weird, funny conversation. And she's like, listen, I'll get off the walkie-talkie if you say, you know, we go to dinner. So he's like, all right, we'll go to dinner. Just let me know if Franklin is coming so we can get up out of here, you know. So he continues to take the pictures. I mean, again, they have this funny, weird, quirky relationship. It's really funny. So now we see the bride, the groom and the bride, and they're dancing, and it's all good. And they're finally coming down from the little high that they had. I mean, everybody was tripping. And so Franklin comes over. He's like, hey, can I interrupt this dance? And, you know, Jerome's like, yeah, go ahead, right? So he's like, yeah, looking at the ring. He's like, dang, okay. Yeah, congratulations and everything. And Franklin goes in. Now he's like coming to terms with himself. So he's like, yeah, you know, I just wanted to apologize to you. You know, I should have treated you and Jerome as partners. Meanwhile, we cut over to your boy Bo. and he's looking at Kane because they about to make that hit on Kane, right? So Bo Buckley was sent by Aunt Louie to make that hit on Kane, and everything was cool, right, between Kane and Leon and Franklin, but hey, Louie wants him out. So he's talking to Aunt Louie about how, yeah, I should have made you a partner and treated you as a partner, and I apologize and I'm sorry. And yeah, we cut back over, and Bo is about to make that strike on Kane. They just waiting for him, so he takes out the strap, and they about to go in and take out Kane. So he's like, yeah, is it too late for us to be partners? And Aunt Louie is like, yeah, it's too late. It's too late. She gives him that kiss, and that's the kiss of death. She's like, yeah, it's too late for us to be partners. We got to do what's best for us now. So she gives him a kiss, and she walks away. And yeah, Franklin is finally seeing that what he has done and what he has set up is definitely falling apart right before his eyes. Wow. So that is the recap of episode 8 for Snowfall. Family, tell me your thoughts, your theories, your comments on this one, because this one was the wildest ride that I've ever recapped for Snowfall or any show, right? So definitely let me know your thoughts, your theories on this. Scully definitely did a number on them, put that LSD in that chocolate, and yeah, everybody was tripping. So family, you know what it is. If you're brand new and you're loving Snowfall, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Absolutely like and comment below. And you know what it is. It's your man, VACAY-J. And until next time, salute.